on the channel. Vlog camera's on. We're ready to rock. But I got the Dark Horse next to me, and I've been getting a lot of requests. Jake, why did you pick the manual Dark Horse? The 10-speed Dark Horse are absolutely insane. And you guys know, I'm really not like a huge manual fan, or at least I wasn't until now, and this car is the exact reason why I fell in love with manual. So I'm going to teach you guys how to drive a manual transmission today, and I want to say the new Mustang is one of the, by far, the easiest cars I've ever learned how to drive stick shift on. And well, I knew how to drive stick shift beforehand, but this car, it almost makes it feel like an automatic. And I'm going to show you guys everything and how to drive stick shift, give you guys tips, pointers, everything you need to know. But hopefully at the end of this video, you guys are going to be wanting a manual Mustang, because the manuals, they are a dying breed. This is actually, you're looking at the only car that was sold, I believe, in 2024 that was a coupe and that was manual. Camaro's dead, Challenger's dead, Charger's obviously a four-door. Every other car, Supra's gone. A lot of other stuff's gone. I mean, I can't even name it, but I saw an article that said that the Dark Horse, or Mustang in general, is the only one that is a coupe, V8, and manual for the 2024 production year. So, in order to keep these things alive, I feel like it's my duty to help Ford sell them. So, I love them a lot, and I know you guys love them a lot, or you guys want to click on this video. So therefore, go to the dealer, buy an automatic, buy a 10-speed, buy a manual, whatever the case may be. Either way, you're getting an awesome car, because the 10-speed is also a way to go if you want to go for drag racing and stuff like that. But manual is obviously more of a driver's car if you like the actual feel of it, more car control, and overall, I mean, it's just more fun than an automatic at the end of the day. But if you're looking to go fast in a straight line, like I said before, I always say go 10-speed. And you guys know, I might have mentioned in the last video, Boost is on the way. Boost has been secured for Apollo, so there it has. We got some work to do. We got to go to the front and back of this car to make sure we're ready to rock. We're trying to go for 9s, then we're going to go for 8s. So we got 10s NA, so now it's time to turn it up. And a little update on the GT500. The owner is getting the loan, or whatever the case may be. He told me maybe the later end of this week or beginning of next week, and Zeus should be gone. So we will have all the money to order all the new parts for Apollo. I mean, I've already ordered everything, but like I said, I'd rather not blow too much money. With 3 cars, it is a lot for me. But in the case maybe one has to go, like I said from the beginning, and I chose the Shelby to go to a new home, sitting all perfectly cleaned up on the lift, ready for its new owner. But I'm happy to go 8s in Apollo, or at least shoot for 8s. And then the Dark Horse, we're actually going to take a ride up to my wrap shop. A Plus are my local guys that always done all my vehicles. They did full PPF on Zeus. They've done the American flags on all my cars, and I want to put the American touch on the Dark Horse. So I want to give you guys thoughts and opinions on this. So I'm thinking like a kind of like a livery style, like more racing. I've seen this on the IMSA cars. Right here, I want to do the American flag right here on this like little piece of the spoiler. And also, once I get the gurney flap fixed, I want to put Stallion Racing Division across the gurney flap. I think that's going to look pretty sick. And we're also getting Stallion Racing Division stickers made. So let me know what you guys want. If you guys want one at the top, or you guys want something small here. I'm thinking one that goes across the back top of the windshield like that. I think it's more clean. Maybe up here it's not going to get in the line of like you're seeing out the rear view mirror, because I don't want it to mess up anyone's vision. Or maybe we could do something small down here in the sense, but I really don't want to mess up any of those, because those do look pretty cool and I do like that a lot. But let me know what you guys think of all the stuff we got going on, and let's fire up the Dark Horse and teach you guys how to drive stick shift. Boys, we just stopped at A Plus. We talked to them, and it looks like we're a go. I got the stickers ordered for you guys for the back of the car, and I think we're going to do them right up top, right back here, so it's not going to block anyone's vision. And plus, we were saying the third brake light's going to light up the sticker at night, which is going to look really sick. And also, we are doing like an American flag livery right here, so that's going to look super cool. Change up the Dark Horse a little bit. I wanted to do, like I told you, Stallion Racing Division on the actual gurney flap itself, but I didn't have the bolts to bring it, and I was like, I'm not going to put it in the trunk to film this video and bounce around, and it really wouldn't fit in the thing, because the wicker bill kind of is like big over here, and then I forgot it gets real tiny and skinny through here, then big again, so it's really not going to work. Other than that, I'm okay with. And we're thinking about doing a full graphics package, like livery on the whole car, how they do on like IMSA and like all the racing series and stuff. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think that would look pretty freaking dope in my opinion. Something different, change up the car so it stands out, it pops, and you guys will know this one's mine when we're out on the track racing. But yeah, let's finish this video, boys. Well, we officially reached the spot, and this might not be what you're thinking. I'm not doing any sort of donuts or anything, which I would love, but we are actually going to pick up tires from Derek soon that he got off his 2024 brand new S650 that we're going to be throwing on here to absolutely burn them up like crazy. But I want to let you guys know how the basics of manual works. So we're going to start from ground zero, and I'm going to throw on the POV for the phone, and I'm going to give you guys everything you need to know on how to drive manual. We'll go through the basics, and one thing I want you guys to know is when you're learning, take your time. This is a definitely learning curve. I mean, I never thought I'd be able to drive manual as good as I can now, and it just took time. You got to be patient, and you got to take baby steps. No one's going to be a pro overnight, and don't worry about what other people say if you're racing, number one. Two, if you're just learning, just take your time and learn. Everyone didn't know from right on when they were born, so you're going to learn. It just takes time, but take it slow, and I'm here to walk you through it, and hopefully this video helps you. So drop a like on the video, road to 100K, boys, and yeah. I would love to swing a fat donut. We might have to before we leave, but it is kind of close to the main road. We might send it, I don't know. But let's get this POV on. All right, so here we are. We're inside the car. First step you want to do is put your foot on the brake, obviously number one, and put your foot on the clutch. Always check your shifter. Don't forget, make sure it's in neutral just like that. It's a little wiggle. Like I said, if it's in first gear, sometimes you could feel a little wiggliness to it, but you'll get used to the feel of the transmission. All depends what you have. This car's got a good Tremec transmission, so it works good. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And then obviously for this one, you pull up and over and up, and now you're in reverse. We're going to go through all that, but first off, wanted to show you that and start up. Like I said, make sure it's always in neutral. Before you let the clutch out, just make sure, obviously, if you want to be very, very safe and you're new to it, just make sure you can see neutral on the screen also. I was bumping. All right, so first step, seatbelt, obviously, because this thing's going to scream at me per usual. Actually, that might help with the mount. Make sure to keep it nice and tight. All right, that actually did help. All right, so as you can see, emergency brakes on. Push it down. We're ready to rock. And all right, first thing I want to show you guys, look, you can push the clutch in. With the new stuff, there's a lot of other features. I'm going to show you guys all the stuff here too. So we can go literally in first gear. And now you can see my feet. I'm just going to let my foot off the brake, and I'm going to let off the clutch nice and slow. Look, no gas, no gas. The car is going. All right, there it goes. See, so Ford's smart enough with the new cars where it will give you a little gas to start off to just help you get the things going with the car, to keep it moving, and it has like the anti-stall stuff. But I mean, you can stall the car. It's been done before. And I can show you how it's been done, but I really don't want to stall the car out. So we'll start over again. Right here, stop. If you guys want to pay close attention, and you can even watch the RPMs of the car. So like, look, now you're in neutral, and let the clutch out, and now look, we can just roll, let off the brake and roll. It is a little bit of a slope, so it's going to give me a little bit of momentum. So watch, we can take off with a little bit of gas this time. You can just give a little bit, see how it's holding at 1,000, then you slowly let off the clutch, and now you're off. Give it just enough, just a little bit if you're taking off a stoplight, just to get up and moving. But like, look, we can go to second gear probably in this little parking lot. I'll have to do one more loop. So first gear, obviously first gear is really not going to stall. And then look, we can clutch in, pull back, shift to second, let out the clutch nice and slow, and then you obviously hear it engage. If I want to downshift, like let's say you're going into a turn, clutch in, push it in first, and this car also has like that what am I talking about? It has the rev matching. Rev matching is pretty much kind of somewhat of what it just did. It'll bring the RPMs right where you need it. And if you guys are new and you really have no clue what rev matching is, you have absolutely no thing. I could try to put in a clip to show you. It's kind of like when you're going to downshift in an old car and you blip the throttle, you kind of like heel and toe it. I don't even know how that's possible for some people, because like my feet are pretty big, and like right through here, like it's so hard for me to, like I gotta like barely kind of do it. It's gotta be like with the top right side of my shoe. Like that's my foot on the brake, and like how I would heel and toe it. I would just kind of be like nudging it with the side of my foot just because my foot's so big, and this like, I mean, it's big. The tunnel right down here for your feet is kind of big, but mine, I don't know. This car, the new stuff is so sensitive. You can see slowly letting out the clutch. See how the RPMs are getting brought up, and that's not even me by look. You can see my foot back. The car is doing that automatically, where it's going to bring the RPMs up just a little bit so it doesn't stall out for you. Makes it super simple on how to drive. That's why I highly recommend, if you want a new Mustang and you're scared about going manual, this one is literally the best one to buy. I know the S550s had that stuff too, but for some reason, I drove some S550s. I don't think it worked as good as this one. The S650 is on another level, in my opinion. But yeah, we can stop again and show you guys that. I can show you me taking off with a little bit of gas, a little more pep in the step. Let me give myself some room. Oh, I can also show you reverse too, wow, because we're going to have to back up right now. So first, all transmissions are different, but as you can see for the reverse for this one, it has that little pull up. You're going to see right here. That's like kind of the safety thing, because reverse is kind of like going into first a little bit, but just way more over. So that's engaging to unlock it. And now we're in reverse. Obviously, you can see R on the screen for reverse. Backup camera kicks on. And most of the time, like, look, you don't even need to really hit the gas for reverse. That's just me lightly letting out the clutch, because Ford is smart and they make it give a little bit of throttle. So like, look, I just fully backed up into a parking space. Could I use a little bit of gas? Yes. Could I feel the car like, okay, he's not giving us any gas and giving a little more? Yeah, I definitely should have. Just I could have blipped the throttle. But sometimes you hear those people backing up and they're like, whop, like whopping it. Obviously, that's all for noise, but you really don't need to implement that much gas. So let's start off and go to first, and let's take off. And I can take off with a little bit harder this time. Like, look, see? See how I took off right there? Nice, easy, slowly, nice and easy. Let the clutch out. You're not going to feel anything. You're not going to feel any bucking. And I can kind of show you the wrong way to do it. So I can show you like, okay, we're going to do it here. And I can give like not enough gas taking off. And like, look, see how the car goes up? And then you're just going to be like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And a car like wants to give you gas. Like, okay, please, feed me some gas, Jacob. I need to take off. So super simple. I'm going to set you guys up from the outside camera too. We're obviously going to go a little drive. I'm going to show you guys how to go through the gears. But when you're taking off, like I said, be very easy. Take your time, and always make sure you're in neutral when you're coming up to a stop, because if you're in gear, that's one thing. I've done it before when I was learning, and I thought I wasn't in gear with the old Fox body. I literally thought it was in gear, and I literally went to go let out the clutch, and it went to go buck, and the car went to take off on me. But no, now we're good, and this car is like super simple. It shows you everything on the dash, and it's nice. So I can even show you, it's got some like hill stuff. I know a lot of people message me and like, Jake, I'm scared. I live in an area where there's a lot of hills, so it has, gotta find it. Definitely have to find it. But it has like a hill hold, and what that means is like if you're on a hill like this, and this is the car, and it'll like, I can let my foot off the brake, and it will hold me if I'm at the light. It should hold me now. Let me see. You usually have to put your foot a little harder on the brake. Okay, so apparently I had auto hold off, which I thought it was on. I could have swore it was on for some reason, but apparently it's not. So you can go to driver assistance on your car and auto hold on. As you can see, oh yeah, there it is. That little green hand comes up, and now look. The brakes are on, and now look what you can do. Clutch in, first gear, give it a little bit of gas. This time, with that mode, you do have to give it just a little bit of gas to release the brake to let the car go. That's all you need for that, but I can turn it right back off and it will be fine. Or I can show you guys how it works. So let me stop here. Out of first gear, car is in neutral, checked, auto holds on, clutch is off, I'm off the brake, and now I would just be sitting at the traffic light waiting for it to turn green. Clutch in, first gear, give it a little bit of gas, and there we go, off, and we're good. There's a certain point you're gonna feel with the clutch and this car, any manual car you drive, there's a light point, and there's a point where you actually start to feel the clutch engage. And what I mean by engage, the clutch is grabbing, and it's all right, like we're starting to move the vehicle, and the car or truck, whatever you're driving, is starting to grab and go. So let me turn auto hold off so you guys can actually see that, because the auto hold will hold the brakes and sometimes fight that a little bit. So like right here, all this is like a dead pedal. Like if you listen very softly and pay attention to your RPMs, you can watch it, hear it giving it, and now it's catching, and now it's gone. That's all it is right there. It is giving enough gas and letting the clutch engage just to go, and you heard the car pop, and it sounds freaking sick. All right, so I found a few little hills and a few parking lots that I can actually film in, and I'm not gonna get rear-ended or major traffic jam or a pile up, because every hill I went to was kind of sketch, too many cars, and I was like, nah, we are definitely not filming here. So show you guys exactly what I do. You guys saw the POV, and now you can actually just watch me drive stick shift. And I still have the auto hold on, so I'm gonna show you guys that. There is a hill coming up. I can't show you how big the hill is because obviously I'm driving and the camera's all the way over there. But let's go show you guys how it's done. As you heard, gave it a little bit of gas right there to take off. Like I said, auto hold is still on. And this is for the beginners, showing you guys how to do it. I've gotten a lot of requests of this video, and the people want, I try to give, so therefore we're in business, baby. We're in business. So turning up a hill right now, and I'm gonna stop right mid-hill. As soon as I get mid, stop, clutch in, putting it in neutral. You can see both hands, my feet. Obviously you can't see my feet that well, but there's my right knee, there's my left knee. Nothing is holding the brake at all. The car is holding itself. So therefore, what you can do, clutch in. Since it's holding the brake for you, you don't have to hold the brake at all because you're on the hill. So there you get let out the clutch. As soon as you start to let out the clutch and it starts to get on the grabbing point of where it feels the resistance of the car, I want to say, or it's like there's enough pressure on the clutch to where, like, okay, the car can move on its own, that's when Ford will disengage the brake. It also will do it for downhill, but everyone knows you really don't need it for downhill. Everyone just lets out the clutch, or just lets the car start to roll, and yeah, you'll just gain momentum, put in first gear, second gear, whatever you want, and then you'll be on your way. I'm gonna show you guys one more time before we jump on the main road and actually get this thing going. Super simple. Like I said, when you have the auto hold on, you do not need to touch the brake whatsoever. Literally get up on the hill. Got to go at this thing a little sideways. The hill's so steep, or I'm going to scrape. So clutch in, car's in neutral, not in, it's stopped. Off the brake, off the clutch, off the gas. There's my knees if y'all can see it. And now look, I'm not going to touch the brake. All I'm going to do is clutch in, make sure you're in first gear, slowly start to let it out and give it a little bit of gas, and boom, just like that, we are off. Super simple. But the thing I want you guys to learn the most is the clutch feel. The clutch feel is the most important thing, I want to say. Don't get over nervous about everything. Start with first and second gear. Don't get anything about that. Stay in a parking lot, learn the basics. First gear, second gear. Once you get that and you feel comfortable, really comfortable with that, then I would say, okay, take it to the main road. And then we're going to talk about all the other stuff, the other basics you're going to want to learn, and like some safety stuff, in a sense of like, you don't want to crash anyone, because there's a lot of stuff you need to know when driving manual. So a lot of kids nowadays that are like my age really don't know how to drive a manual, and I'm making this video to hopefully counteract that. That's what I want to do. I want everyone to drive a manual and fall in love with it the same way I did, because it made me appreciate the car so much more. And it's one thing to drive a car as a manual, but there's pros and cons to the both. And like, auto holds on again, and there it goes, we're off. Clutch in, second gear. And really, like, I always wondered, like, you know how the auto, everyone always knows the automatics always shift like very fast. So like, I was always like, when I first learned, I was like, man, I gotta shift around like 2,000 RPMs. Like, this is weird. Don't even think like that, because I thought like that, and because me not knowing anything or like having much experience with the manuals, I'm like always trying to shift. Rev that sucker out to 3,000-4,000 every gear if you want. It really doesn't matter. As long as you're getting up to speed quick, and that's the best way to do it. If you try to actually like shift like when the RPMs are very low, technically like an automatic, you're going to be shifting all day long, and it's not going to be a fun time. So like, if I'm slowing down for a light, for instance, I can either A, throw it in neutral, clutch and throw it in neutral, and then hit the brake, or we can start the downshift. 5th gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear, and then you let out the clutch. When you're doing the rev matching on these style of cars, you do not have to let the clutch out every single time. A lot of people have asked me that too. They're like, Jake, when you're rev matching, and what I just showed you, like, let's just say I'm gonna go down to 3rd gear, that's 3rd gear, but I didn't let the clutch out, and then the RPMs, you'll hear the car die back down. So I'm gonna shift to 4th, I can shift to 5th, and then I let the clutch out, we're going nice and smooth, and that's that. And then you just get right back on the gas and you're good to go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below, or to reach me best, it's Italian Scion 410, same as the YouTube. Hit me up over on Instagram, and I will try to get to every single DM as fast as possible for you guys. If you guys have any questions, I've had people actually hit me up and ask to learn on this car. I would love to, if I could, and I had like $1 million, I would buy another car to help teach everyone, but I can't. I would need a new clutch transmission after teaching everyone. But hopefully this video helps you guys out, and the little tricks and stuff I told you and like stuff to pay attention to, hopefully it was enough to help you guys help the process of learning manual to the best of your knowledge. Stay tuned, boys. Giveaways are coming soon. If you haven't checked out, check out the website right now, link down below. Love you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Deuces.